Hey, what is up guys? So we got Totally Awesome available now in Fluffals because Fluffals actually have a level 4 that's also a water monster. So you guys will see in these replays that I'm going to share with you guys. So shout outs to all you guys for sending in these awesome replays. We got one from Dangerous22 over here, which is really good. The new Fluffal card is looking pretty strong. That Fluffal Penguin being able to let you draw 2 cards, then discard a card, so when you use that Frightful Fusion, you get extra material for it. You get to cycle through cards. Fluffals are looking pretty deadly. I mean, look at this turn 1 field. You have a Saber Tooth. In addition to that, you have number 38, which is still a pretty strong card. And if anything gets hit on the ban list pretty hard, like let's say ABC's, PK Fire, they get hit pretty hard, and Fluffals don't get touched at all, I think Fluffals have a chance. Depending on what other support we get in the TCG, maybe some TCG exclusive Fluffals or Furnimals. We'll wait and see how good they are because they're a very consistent deck. Frightful Tiger into an Octo, and then on top of that you can Sabertooth. Like, you can do so much in this deck now. The deck has so much consistency, it's crazy, as you guys will see in these replays. And there's different builds that I want to share with you guys. This one over here can actually bust out, again, Totally Awesome in Fluffals, because of course you have to have a water for that target to make Muhammad Shark. And another good target is also Fairy Cheer Girl, which is a decent card because you're able to draw some extra cards with the Fluffal Penguin. Then you can extend into Fairy Cheer Girl. And I was thinking, man, all the Fluffals are fairies, right? So maybe we can tech in a Christia. I know that used to be a popular thing to follow up a relatively strong board with Christia, but I mean, you made Totally Awesome or Treat Toad, you got Fairy Cheer. Like, look at this board in Fluffals. That's crazy stuff, crazy stuff. But let's watch a few more replays. I'll give you guys builds that you guys can try out, multiple different builds, so you guys can play whichever one that you guys like the most, and I'll showcase a few replays. Then also there's a new Predator Plant card that I'll showcase off. These are basically all the cards that we talked about that got leaked the other day. Well, they just went ahead and added all of them in the game, so now we have access to messing around with some of the newer stuff. So again, Fluffal Penguin is just crazy. Let's go over its effect real quick while we're watching all the stuff in action. So, Fluffal Penguin. During your main phase, you can special summon another Fluffal monster from your hand, except for Fluffal Penguin, and this effect can only be used once while this card is face up on the field. But if it's sent to the graveyard for a fusion material, you get to, for a Frightful monster, you get to draw 2 cards and discard 1 card. So it's a really strong card over there, as you guys will see. Over here we have a showcase up against some of the more meta decks. Now I feel like this play was kind of questionable turn 1. I think a much better play turn 1 would have been Galaxy Soldier anyways. I don't know why he didn't make it. It doesn't really matter. You guys will see through this replay that he gonna get OTK'd anyways, because Fluffals all about the OTKs. They can put up a relatively strong board. Now, the only thing Fluffals really lack to be a very competitive deck is a strong turn 1. And you saw the other replay, he was able to bring out a number 30. Now, that doesn't happen too often, but you guys will see, like, look at this board over here. Now, you can only activate one of the Frightful Fusions per turn, but obviously, if he was to go into a Cyber Dragon Infinity and negate that, you just activate another one anyways. But nonetheless, yeah, he would have had to negate somewhere in between some of these plays, but he had a follow-up play regardless. I mean, he's got 3 monsters that could definitely deal with a Cyber Dragon Infinity. But nonetheless, yeah, this deck is looking like it's got some potential, and I feel like not a lot of decks right now have the amount of searching that Fluffals have. I mean, Wings, Bear, Vendor, like, you have so much access to being able to just go for a lot of free advantage. Like, that Toy Vendor play plus the Bear is just so strong. You get to send this to the graveyard, add the Toy Vendor, and then on top of that with Fluffal Wings, if you control Toy Vendor, you banish this card, and then you get to target a Fluffal monster graveyard, banish it, draw a card, then send a Toy Vendor, which lets you add another card, and then you get to draw an additional card because of Fluffal Wings. And Frightful Wolf, if there's an empty board, which you'll make quite often with Frightful Tiger, didn't matter that it was Solemn or whatever he had. I mean, he's just going to go ahead and banish them and make a card that can attack a bajillion times, right? So you guys can see that a lot of these Fluffal plays orient around going for the fusion of the Tiger, blow up everything because it can target a number of cards up to the number of cards used for the summon, blow them all up, then you go for the Frightful Fusion, banish everything that you made to blow up their entire board, and then just attack them 69 times, or more like 4 times, and then you win the game. So it's a relatively straightforward deck. There will probably be times where you have to think a little bit more in these plays, but for the most part, I mean, you guys can see, like, you just blow up the board with Tiger, attack a bunch of times with Wolf, and you're able to do that because of Penguin, because Penguin sets up your graveyard relatively fast with extra additional targets, and then on top of that, you have access to attacking a bunch of times because the board is essentially cleared. I don't think people will like side deck Battle Fader, but look at this guy. He's like, I got max C, I'm ready to go. He's like, yo, I don't care. I'm gonna activate your attack, blow up everything you control. And Sight is a prank, a toy vendor over there. He's gonna be able to activate that effect to go ahead and get a +1 off of that toy vendor. And then you can see he's gonna go ahead and activate Sheep. Sheep effect lets you return a Fluffal and then special summon a Edge monster from your hand or graveyard. So he's gonna go ahead and he was gonna make the totally awesome. Didn't really matter. He's gonna go attack and make it game. So his opponent was like, "Yo, I maxed I drew 50 cards, but it doesn't matter because Penguin is just a really strong card." And it shows you just sometimes you need one card, and after you get that one strong card, that's what the deck needs to become quote unquote meta. But anyways, you'll see, again, it's the same kind of plays over and over. This is the last Fluffal play that we'll go over. And then I want to show you guys the new Predator Plant card. It's a relatively straightforward card. It's more on the side of negate so your opponent cannot Yu-Gi-Oh! But Fairy Cheer Girl is still a pretty good card. You can see the Twin Twisters activated just to get rid of that card. Toy Vendor over there to get free extra cards. Kraken going to go ahead and get rid of that. Frightful Factory going to go and make Sabretooth. Going to bring back the Kraken over here. Kraken has that effect where it can attack him multiple times. And you can see it's just game. So you can game your opponent really quick in Fluffals. If you're into OTKs, that's definitely for you. But we got a replay of the new Predator Plants in action. The guy's playing Fluffals. It doesn't really matter what your opponent is playing because the new card over here for the Predator Plants is oriented around putting a Predator counter on your opponent's stuff. And then if it's a level 2 or higher, it becomes level 1 and also negates the effects of any opponent's monster that has a Predator counter. So you're able to just go ahead and mess up their levels, so that can hurt a lot of Synchro decks. Obviously, the Fluffals would have a bad matchup against Predator Plants, because a lot of their stuff revolves around manipulating levels because of Predator counters. But nonetheless, you make this card. This card is basically a negate city over here, and on top of that you have Predator Planet. If a monster with a Predator counter leaves the field, you can add one Predea card from your deck to your hand, and that's a pretty good effect considering once per you can go ahead and just throw a card on there, counter on it, negate its effect, and then obviously run over it, then search out and get another plus off of the Predator Planet. And this is continuous. Then, if it wasn't good enough already, you can banish from the graveyard a special summon one fusion monster from your extra deck using Predea plant monster from your hand or field as fusion material. So he's going to go ahead and Soul Charge, bring back 69 monsters over there, bust out the Dragostapelia, which is, again, the card that you want to make in this deck. Once you get out double of these, I feel like you just, like, win, because this card is just way, way too strong when you get out double. A lot of the times in Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now, getting out double negations pretty much seals the deal in the game, whether you're making, like, a Buster Dragon and another card, say, for example, like Cyber Dragon Infinity. A lot of decks will fold. You make double Crystal Wing Synchro Dragons, like the Winter Witches or the Wind Witches. That also can make it game. So, like, a lot of decks right now, they don't have answers to this, so that's why a lot of people are running things like Gamma Seal. Heck, in the OCG, some people are side decking those Lava Golems, Volcanic Queens, and stuff like that. But, yeah, that's it for those replays. But let's go ahead and jump into some deck profiles. So, first off, I want to shout out the totally awesome Fluffals over here. So we got a Gamma Seal. Like I said, a lot of people are just main decking one Gamma Seal just because it lets you deal with some difficult boards. Then we have 3 copies of Dog. We got 3 copies of Penguin, 3 Edgem Chain, 3 Bears, 2 Sabers, 3 King of the Swamp, 1 Fluffal Owl, 1 Fluffal Sheep, 3 Fluffal Wings, triple Instant Fusion, 2 copies of Fright for Fusion, 1 Fusion Recovery, 2 copies of Poly, because you got that King of the Swamp, so it's pretty much like playing like 5. And then you also have this, which can add another one. We got the Upstart Goblin, Fusion Substitute. Oh, Substitute, that'd be a different card. We got Dark Fusion, 2 copies of Twin Twister, 1 Frightful Factory, 3 copies of Toy Vendor. For the extra deck, we got 2 of the Sabretooth, 1 of the Kraken, 1 Frightful Wolf, 1 Tiger, 2 copies of Sheep, 1 Norden, 1 Virgil Rockstar. We got number 38, 1 Beatrice, 1 Bahamut Shark, 1 Castell, 1 Fairy Trio, and 1 Treat Toad. Now this was obviously pretty clogged for the extra deck, but I have another build for you guys. from some of the replays that you guys watch. So this is a different build. This one's playing, again, a little bit differently. I like the other one where it has the other rank 4s, but feel free, guys, to give suggestions on any of these that you guys see. Now, I personally don't really like Fluffal Mouse because drawing into 2 of them suck, but yeah, it happens. Anyways, we got 3 dog, 3 penguin, 3 copies of bear, 3 edge-up sabres, 3 owls, 3 mice, 3 Fluffal Wings, 3 Frightful Fusion, 3 Fusion Conscription, 3 Polys, 3 Fusion Sage, 1 Soul Charge, 3 Toy Vendors, 3 Solemn Strikes. For the extra deck, we got 3 Sabertooth, 3 Kraken, 3 Wolf, 3 Tiger, and 3 copies of Sheep. I feel like you can definitely mix up the extra deck. I definitely recommend you guys to play some rank 4s, specifically Castell. Castell like needs to go in here, but I wanted to give it to you guys originally, and then you guys can modify it towards your liking. But I definitely recommend Castell. Any deck that has easy access to rank 4s, like for example this, really excellent card to be able to just make Castell, just to deal with like some random cards that you just can't get rid of for whatever reason. It could be a back row or something like that. But, I mean, most of the time you will have access to, of course, the Tiger to go ahead and get rid of it. But for the off chance you don't have Poly and you can make a game and you need to get rid of one specific card because you're going to lose the next turn, Castell is a boss for doing that kind of stuff relatively quick. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and thanks all you guys for sending in those awesome replays. If you have any other cool replays, feel free always to send me in the YRP files to AzneyesReplays@gmail.com. But shout out to all you guys for sending in those awesome replays. Cool to see that Fluffals are seeing a lot of play, actually. If you guys go and start playing on, like, I saw so many people playing Fluffals. I think this is the new hot deck of the week, because this card makes the deck super consistent, and it lets you OTK like crazy. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you guys get a like button, a titty slap, and I'm signing out.